let's see what's going to happen now. All right. So I'm live. Let's just see if anyone can come back.
Just a little bit off
Okay.
that.
We have 6 people back. Hello. Okay. I don't know.
Make sure you got some.
All right. I have no idea what happened. None. Puzzlement. Yes, we're back. Hello. Yes, that was bizarre. Okay, I'm not going to stress over it. There's just too many other things in this world that are stressful. So this is the last. This is the last thing that would hold importance on that. So I'm glad y'all came back. I really am glad about that. But as to why that happened, I don't know. Hey, Brandy, how you doing? Right. How are you? I know it's just like the disconnect. I don't know what happened, but I wasn't. I don't look at myself, so I didn't even know it was frozen. That's the thing. Okay, yeah. So Wendell is checking, and he said it's good. Okay. Yes, I agree, Sam. We can raise some really strong energy. Yeah, I was telling my son right before the show about what I hope the collective energy raising will bring. I described it as a bathtub. You know, it's to me it's similar. So if I can put out 9 minutes of positive energy, I mean, absolutely focusing on 9 minutes only once a month, and add that positive energy to the collective. I look at it as a bathtub, so you have negative and positive energy in the same body of water. You know, so my thought is if I can add just a little bit more positive than there is negative, so that negative is going to be pushed out of the bathtub. So that's that's what I hope to have happen with our positive energy raising. Oh yes, yes, I know. So Brandy and I, she lives, I don't know, maybe 2 hour and a half from me, and Brandy and I are putting together a crystal class for this Saturday, and I'm really looking forward to working with her. I've been on the fringe of knowing her for a few years now. We share the same shaman teacher. We both sell crystals. Um, I follow her on Facebook, so it's kind of this is our first time meeting each other, so it's really exciting. And yeah, so we're gonna get together and share our ideas of crystals. Um, so that's something I'm really looking forward to. Yeah, and the topic similar as to what we're gonna be doing on Saturday. So I'm gonna. This is um, a preview, I guess. Not a dry run. We're certainly talking about it, planning. What are ley lines and how do they affect us? Oh my gosh, Sam. Um, I don't have the scientific explanation of a ley line, but do I think they exist? Oh yeah, absolutely. Do I think that ancients have recognized that? Yeah, I mean, they talk about the pyramids being built on ley lines, and how, if you've ever seen them from space, how they're connected. Um, Civilizations that were thousands of miles apart, you know, in a similar era, building same structures on ley lines that connect to each other. I mean, that to me is just it's hard to not believe in that discount it. It's why would they have done that? Yes, yeah, the bathtub idea. And yeah, I mean, displacement. I mean, so that's how I look at it. You know, but yeah, it's true. Um, when I was in the restaurant field, you know, if you've never been a waiter or a waitress, I think I don't know what they call them now, servers. I'm not gonna, you know, disrespect anyone. I really loved being as a waitress. I like serving people. It's my language of love. But anyhow, um, you know, you work on your tips. So your mental attitude, how you present, how happy you are, it's a huge consideration for how well you do financially, or at least it was when I was in the industry. So every day to work, I would smile. I would make myself happy for getting a green light. You know, I mean, things like that. So you can actually think yourself happy. So that's the positive, you know, displacing the negative, you know, always trying to, you know, move that forward a little bit. Yes, I mean, why aren't they? Yeah, so it's a sacred geometry, a pyramid. I mean, um, it makes so much sense. I mean, it raises energy. We raise energy, you know, and just, um, you know, I think a lot of us on this call right now are empathic. You know, I mean, I think I personally, well, I'll speak for myself. I can't speak for everyone. Um, so I can connect and resonate and recognize and feel other energy in others. Um, so it's a huge consideration for me because I think that that goes down to why I'm a strong introvert. Oh, here's Micah. Yeah, Micah has tons of energy, right? So to me, I can, if there's any type of anxieties, anger, depression, discontent, I can feel that. I can also feel happiness, but I'm more sensitive to the negative emotions. I don't know why. I haven't taken the time to figure that one out. Um, but I think that all of us on here, and so I think that that's what connects me to crystals because they do have energy, and and I do recognize that they're there to help me, you know, solve problems, and whether it be for myself, spiritually, um, even definitely mentally, and it could even be physically, right? So I mean, you know, there's so many different ways that you can use crystals, and they're ready to be used. So I think that's why I feel like humans are compatible. And even, I mean, I've heard, I mean, you know, like animals, they get Reiki. Uh, my ex grandcat, now deceased, she would somewhat lay for us to put a crystal on her when she was in the mood. Not always. Okay. Yeah. So Sam is an introvert as well. So yeah. So it's a lot to put yourself out there, especially when you have to be amiable and you're exposing yourself, you know, to receive so that you can reciprocate. You know, so there's that. You have to open that channel up when you're dealing with people. Otherwise, it comes over as false. You know what I mean? Or you can't you can't connect with them because you're closed off because you're an introvert and you don't want to expose your energy or open yourself up to receiving their energy. So it's a yeah. I don't know how we got on this topic, but I guess I think it relates a lot to you know, crystals and how you can use them, and you know, how you can put them, how you can amplify them. You know, so to me, crystals are amazing on their own, but when you combine them with sacred geometry, and then added with that your physical and spiritual powers. I mean, we all have them. We all have them. And I think we don't exercise them enough. I really think that a lot of us have forgotten what that is like. And so, working with crystals and magic and I think we all work magic daily. Um, I think that when you do that, you actually it's like another muscle. I mean, it's another sense. It's like seeing. I mean, so my eyesight's pretty good, um, but my the ability for me to move and create energy is also pretty good. But as I couple it with crystals and the sacred geometry, it's even stronger. I really think that everyone has that same opportunity. Um, and so I really encourage everyone to experience it, explore, what feels good for you, and just have fun. It's not meant to be serious, um, not in a life or death way. You know what I mean? So it can't. So if it's in a life or death situation, then you probably, I don't know that one dose of crystal sacred geometry is gonna be enough, right? There's other things that you should probably work with, um, but for the other, the long term goals and aspirations, or even like a short term getting through, like I have this crystal class coming up on Saturday, so moving beyond that, getting everything prepared, getting myself in a position to where I feel like I can benefit others by sharing knowledge, so that to me is a perfect reason to use sacred geometry with crystals and the full moon. Now, of course, I'm gonna miss my opportunity to use my sacred geometry and on the full moon for my class that's coming up, because it's on the 18th, my class is, but the full moon's on the 20th. um, but I mean, there are certain things that I think right now I'm trying to use my grid, this one that I put together, and I want to confirm my divine purpose. I want to um, have it materialize, maybe not in its solid state, maybe not in its complete form. I mean, I think I still have a ways to go before I'm finished with this life. Um, but just to see what else I should be doing. I mean, what is my next focus? What should I be expending my energy on? So that's what I'm putting my grid for this particular full moon. So it's the harvest moon, which so the harvest moon is you're to take all of the workings that you did for this year, and it's to bring it to fruition on the 20th. You're supposed to harvest all of the hard work you've done. Sowing, reaping what you sow, that type of approach. So doing all of that, I think that with this grid, I can actually bring in the concept of, I've been building my my spirituality for this year. It's growing and growing, so I'm slowly uh, branching out in different areas. I'm becoming more efficient and more comfortable with what I'm doing. So now it's time to move beyond that. It's time to harvest it. So now I need to, take it a step further and just, you know, um, manifest what my next step is. So that's what my purpose is here for my grid. That's my intention, and I've chosen a few crystals, and I'll share with you that and as well. Can a crystal grid also amplify people energy if they have certain? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's a perfect idea. So certain spiritual energy abilities. Um, so you amplifying your spiritual energy, amplifying it in a way that you may not even be able to realize today what's possible. But I think that when you create a grid in with that intention, so when you're doing that, you're like opening a door, Sarita. So just think about this. So right now, you just put out to the universe that um, your intention is to create a grid that's going to amplify your spiritual abilities, certain spiritual abilities. So you've already probably thought of one that you want to amplify. Right, so when you put that thought out there into the universe and then you take action by selecting the crystals that will support that idea, by putting them on a sacred geometry that will lend its power to that vortex of, power. Um, and then once you do that, and the thing about it is, it depends on the workings. Is it something that you feel like you can set the intention and then let it go and let the universe do with it as it will? Or is it something that you need to pay attention to? Do you need to actively work it? So there is a difference between, the approach, and it could be a difference in the result. It's all going to be dependent upon you, but can you do it? Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. Uh, Sam, what's next in our journey? Yes. Hey, Myra, how you doing? So, Myra, we are talking about. This is a crystal conversation tonight. We have them every Tuesday at 7. And the topic tonight is about our full moon grid that we're going to be doing on the 20th. So that's coming up in 6 days, next Monday. I haven't seen Linda. No, I have not. Mm-mm. No, I have not seen Linda. So Goldie came on earlier. Um, so we had some technical issues. So I think that we had a few people dropped off after that. So we have a few people still on. Not too many, but it's okay. It's an intimate group. So what I'll do now is, okay, Myra, come on in. Yes, it's no, right now there's no invitation needed. Anyone's welcome to come in. Yep. So it's just we we hang out for roughly about an hour. Right now I had to cancel last week's because it was a new moon, and I had an opportunity to create a new moon bowl of my own. So I mean that was something I wanted to put my intentions. I've never worked with clay before, so that was a really cool opportunity for me. So I took advantage of it. It doesn't happen. New moons and that class doesn't happen often. It just unfortunate it happened on a Tuesday. But I wanted to share with y'all before the night's over just a few crystals that I have selected for my crystal grid. So I have here blue kyanite. I have some clear quartz. They're little druzy pieces. They're really amazing. They're little clusters. I have blue lace. I have some larimar, petalite, and then lepidolite. So that's where the intention is for me is to find out what my next step is in connecting with my divine purpose, having it materialize, understanding what the next step should be. So that's where I'm opening up. All of the crystals I've selected is with the purpose of connecting to the universe and my spirit guides, opening up that channel, creating that dialogue and keeping it, having a common frequency. Yes, Goldie, I know. What about your opportunity? I don't know. What opportunity? Oh, a smoky quartz that's following you. Well, sometimes then you might need to ask what smoky quartz is trying to tell you. Hello, Lucinda. I'm glad you're back. Okay, you're just in time. I'm going to go ahead and just. There's four of y'all on, so maybe Wendell might even be on, so there might be three. So I think it's a good number for me to pull a card. So if you want me to pull an oracle card for you, just let me know. We have 10 minutes, so we can pull a card for everyone, and then we'll talk about um, next show what we're going to do. So if anyone's interested in getting an oracle card pulled, just let me know. At least I'm not frozen. I can tell. I can see my hands shuffling. Yeah, I had to. The last we had a separation there because I got the technology. Oh my gosh, Sam, he would not like that. Okay, so Sarita, let's see what I'm gonna pull a card first for Sarita, and I just want to see what Spirit has to say for Sarita. Okay. All right, so Sarita, let me get out of the light there. So Sarita, the oracle card that I pulled for you is Self. And let's see. All right, so Sarita, the message I'm receiving from Spirit is you need to stop worrying about what other people think of you, or what you're doing. And I think you've been so suppressing the real Sarita. There's something that you've been wanting to do that you have not taken the next steps to do because you're afraid of what other people are going to think. So, self. So, don't pay as much attention to yourself. Instead, do what makes you happy. So it's not that self, that persona you put on for the world, because we all have one. We have a face that we show to the world. That's not always the face that's inside. What Spirit's telling me for you tonight, Sarita, is do not worry about that self-image, because that's not the person that wants to come out. So whatever you've been secretly wanting to do, and we're not ashamed, but almost like it's so in contradiction to who you are that you're afraid to show that aspect to the world. But Spirit's saying it's time to do that. It's time. Yeah. So I hope that made sense to you, Sarita. And if it doesn't today, I hope it does tomorrow or sometime in the future. So yes. Okay. So let me pull a card for Myra. All right. So Myra, what does Spirit say for Myra? Let's see. Oh. So Myra, the card is water. Okay, so what I'm getting is it's almost like a drowning feeling. Not literal. I don't think you're gonna drown. There's sometimes you can't catch your breath, and I can see you're almost in hyperventilating. You know, something is it's at some point it was almost too overwhelming for you. You just couldn't deal with it, and so it kind of caught you off guard, and you're like, you know, and so then that's the message that Spirit was giving me, is that you were dealing with something that made you extremely anxious, and you couldn't catch your breath, and it was almost like you were hyperventilating, and during that time you kind of blocked something, it was almost like you were suppressing it. It was almost like you were just pushing it out because you couldn't deal with whatever was happening. Yeah. So that's what I was getting from Spirit, Myra. Just not so much a prescription or even uh, anything that would provide you any information to go forward. It was almost just like a moment in time. I can envision that happening. So if it hasn't happened, then that is going to happen. So if it hasn't happened, there's nothing I can do about it. But if it's going to happen, if it hasn't happened yet, Myra, then um, what what I'm getting now is to tell you that um, when that happens to you, you need to do what you would do if you were in a body of water. You would break free to the surface, right? So if that situation is happening, it's going to happen to you, then disconnect from that situation, either physically or mentally. And then, you know, take a deep breath, get your bearings, and then reflect back on what's happening because um, I think you in that moment you were overwhelmed and you couldn't comprehend what was happening. So I think that's what Spirit's telling me to do. So just break free and then come back to the situation, and you'll be able to deal with it in a more calmer state. Yeah. Okay. So that's for Myra, and then let's see Goldie, and then Lucinda. Okay. Let me just do Goldie and Lucinda. All right. So Goldie. Let's see what Spirit has to say for Goldie. All right. All right. So Goldie, um, uh, the card that was pulled for you is home. Okay, so the message that I'm getting from Spirit for Goldie, as it relates, as home relates to you, it's there's you're actually you've been remembering your childhood. Um, there's you're becoming more and more reminiscent of um, what happened to you as a child, and those memories are now surfacing more and more um, in the last few weeks. Um, there was a time that was very poignant in your life. You actually you were actually kind of sad during a certain period of time when you were a little girl, and you're reflecting on that a lot lately. And from what I can see, what Spirit's trying to tell me is that um, use those memories as a way to reflect, but don't absorb. Don't we the people we are today is not going to be the person that we are tomorrow, right? So use those memories, however sad they may have been at the time, to improve the Goldie that is today. Don't hold on to it as absolute truth, because your truth is changed, right? So yeah, so that's what I'm getting. Cool. All right, so Lucinda, let's see. Yeah, Goldie. Yeah, so I could see you in a little meadow as a little girl. Um, okay, so this is for Lucinda. Lucinda, what does Spirit have to say for Lucinda? Mm. Okay, so toxic. So the card that's been pulled for you, Lucinda, is toxic, and what Spirit's showing me is that there's a female around you right now that she's very toxic, um, and she's sneaky about it too. So Lucinda, I see her smiling at you. I see her pretending that she has your best interest, and she doesn't. So Spirit is telling me to tell you to be aware of that person. Don't take action, but intelligence can bring defense, right? So once you know, and so I would suggest that you take stock of your current inner circle, and maybe it's not even someone that you've let into your inner circle yet, but somebody on the fringe, and connect with their energy. Do some um, do some mind shifts. Try and connect with them energetically, and just put your mind out there, Lucinda. Go ahead and become contemplative and send your energetic body out to the universe and try and connect with each of the females that are just on the fringe of your inner circle, trying to get trying to feel what their motive is. You're gonna recognize the person that is toxic to you, um, and from there you're gonna know how to defend yourself. It may not be taking any action, but just having knowledge of her existing, who she is, being aware, deflecting, not trusting, for sure. That'll give you the power to move beyond that person. Okay, so that's what I'm getting from Spirit, Lucinda. Um, yeah. Okay, so Sam. Okay, okay. So Myra, yes. Okay, so there. Oh my gosh. Okay, so yes, Sam, we do have time for you. Um, so Myra, just think about that. So you said you tried to commit suicide. So something brought you back from that ledge. That's an analogy, hon. I don't know what the circumstances were. Um, but something brought you back. Something said it's not time. And what Spirit was telling me is that you can take a deep breath. You can break free from the surface, and then you can see the situation in a different light, because you're going to step back and it's not going to be that suffocating feeling anymore. So, Mara, and of course, there are so many different opportunities for help. So, definitely contact anyone that can help you through this stage. Um, I'm not an expert, and I would not even try to propose that I am. But I just want to tell you what I saw with Spirit, that you do have the ability to see what's happened in a different light. Okay, so Sam. Well, Sam, hello, Jessica. So Sam, I'm gonna go ahead and pull your card. I'm not sure if we're gonna be last, but we'll see. Okay. All right. So Sam, I need a Spirit. If you're there, I need a message for Sam. Which Spirit's always there, so. But sometimes they're not talkative, right? All right, so let's see. Okay. Okay, so what I see is Tara. So the card itself is indicative of nature, um, and I actually, Sam, I just saw a vision of you walking through the woods. Yeah, so it's telling me, Spirit's telling me, Sam, that you need to go take a hike. You need to get your best walking shoes on, and um, it's the evenings are going to be cooler. So I would suggest that um, it's wherever we're going, Sam. I can see this in my mind. I can see you taking this trip. Wherever you are going, it's going to be. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a long hike, but you're going to take some. You're going to take a blanket. You're going to take a basket of snacks or a bag of snacks, whatever. But you're going to go to an area that the trees are tall and the wind is softly blowing and the leaves are starting to fall, and you're going to sit and you are going to reach out to the universe and the the guides that are with you. And Sam, you're going to have an experience that is going to blow your mind. So I am so excited for you that so you're going to have to see this see this to the end, though. You're going to have to make sure that you're taking these steps to do this because your guides are wanting to show you something. And the environment that they want it to be in is in the woods. You've taken a hike just around dusk, getting comfortable, sitting down, being meditative, and they're going to show you something, Sam. So, congratulations. It looks amazing. Okay. Oh, cool. Thank you. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Oh, yeah. When you feel, yeah, just take a breath. No problem. Yes, yes, yes. All right, cool, cool. Sam, that's so nice. Yeah. Okay, so this, yes, yes, yes. We're okay, guys. So there's a few others. Let me see. Um, let's see. Adele, I can read for you. Yes, yes, yes. Right, yeah. So this is the spirit's really active tonight. So this is good. This is really good. So let me pull a card for Adele. Um, all right, so let's see what Spirit has to say for Adele. That's really nice to hear. Yeah. So Adele Garrison. Let's see what Spirit has to say for Adele. Let's see. Simplicity. Adele. The answer is not that hard. So, all right. So, Spirit just was showing me that you've been struggling with a decision. And Spirit's telling me that the answer is simple. The facts are there in front of you. It's not that hard. It's not that hard, Adele. So, whatever you've been agonizing over, you know the answer to. You haven't wanted to take that step. But it's Spirit saying it's that simple. It's that simple. I don't know. So I hope that this means something to you, Adele. If it doesn't today, then it will in the future. Spirit doesn't show me a time. Yeah, so I don't know. Um, yeah, well, sometimes I can feel that it was in the past, but other times I can't. I can't determine that. Yeah. All right. Okay, so Christy wants a card. All right. Okay, so there you go, Lucinda. Yeah, so she channels spirits. So yeah, so I think we all have that, the ability to contact the spiritual realm. We all have our own unique gifts. So this is for Christy. So I'm going to do one more card. It's already after 8. And I still wanted to close with what we're going to be doing next week. So um, I hate holding y'all beyond an hour because I know that I really appreciate the time you give. All right, so this is for Christy. So let me see what Spirit has to say for Christy. What does Spirit have to say for Christy? Spirit, what do you have to say for Christy? All right, so Christy, it's illuminate. Can you see? Yeah. So, Christy, you're going to have an awkward situation come up to where you're going to have to tell a friend about a truth that you know that's going to hurt their feelings, that it might alter their life, their path. It's going to be pretty devastating to them. Temporarily, as long as we don't die, I mean, you can overcome. So that's an awkward position that you're going to be in, Christy, because it's a horrible choice to be put in. I mean, you can either say the truth and possibly lose their friendship, or not say anything and then always know that you should have said something. So I'm sorry you're going to be put in that position, Christy, but that's what I see for you. Yeah. So I hope, actually that's one I hope it doesn't resonate with you, because that's going to be an awkward thing for you to be in. But I can't predict the future. So all I can do is read the messages that Spirit's giving me. I interpret them. Clean your house, right? Okay, cool. Right. Sometimes the most simple things we make a maze from. Absolutely. Oh yeah, Sam, I'm so happy you said that. Yeah, I really am blessed that Spirit can work with me and present to me all this information, because it's something that um, I think I'm very blessed to be able to do that. So I'm really honored that y'all. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's going to be a struggle, and as I mentioned, Spirit doesn't show me a time, so it can be imminent, or it can be months from now, but it will happen. And I think I think you're going to choose the truth, and then you could possibly lose a friend. Yeah, but that is unfortunate. But okay, so that was the oracle reading portion of the conversation. So I haven't done that for every. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm losing my voice or if it's just allergies. I'm hoping it's just allergies. But I do that. I try to do that for every show. Always meditate to find your answers. The guides are always there. Absolutely. Yes. And before you leave, Lucinda, so on September 20th is when the full moon is. It's the harvest full moon. So gather your items for your grids. Put the crystals together. Activate your grid. And then at 7:11 on the full moon, which is next Monday, 7 p.m., 7:11 Central Standard Time, we're going to all come together as a collective, and we're going to hold sacred energy for promoting truth, love, and empathy. Say that however many times you need to for 9 minutes. So we're going to focus for 9 minutes on that energy, and we're going to send it then out to the collective. It's a positive, energetic vortex that we're all going to be putting out there wherever you're at, coming together and pushing that positive energy out into the universe. So that is for the 20th. So we have two things to do on the 20th, the grid and then the energy raise. And then on the 21st, which is next Tuesday, we're going to meet back here and we're going to compare notes and just, share experiences. And then, yeah, that's the fun part.